but they still cannot stop the death. We read in chapter number 2, Jatasya hi dhruvor mrityu, dhruvam janma mrityucha. Once born, death is inevitable. There is only one thing that is deathless, birthless, and limitless. That is the Brahman. That is the ultimate power of the world and what we call limitless consciousness. And that is the real truth. As I said, Paramathik Satyam, the word given by Shankaracharya. And that's what we try to achieve in our lifetime, to be with that. We cannot become that, but we can be that. And that's hence we understand the difference between being and becoming. The existence, we have to know and believe, not believe, understand. Again, I'm saying the believe is a wrong word for our religion. That because of this ultimate truth, the whole world is existing and functioning on the basis of that truth, which we call in our spiritual world limitless Brahman. Just wanted to give you this little brief introduction because it's the final session. We don't know when we are meeting again. And keep thinking about these things. You don't have to give up. And beginning today, I prepared to give the summary of chapter number 5 and chapter number 6. In chapter number 5, before that we need to say that Dharma Kshetre Kurukshetre Samaveta Yuyutsavaha Mamaka Pandavaschaiva Kimakurvata Sanjaya Yatra Yogeshwaraha Krishna Yatra Partho Dhanurdharaha Tatra Sri Vijayo Bhutihi Dhruvanitir Matirmama. In chapter 5, once again Bhagwan talks about Karma Yoga and Sannyasa Yoga. In chapter 2, actually, he emphasized a lot about Sthita Pragya, Karma Yoga, and Jnana Yoga. And then again in 3rd and 4th, he elaborated on that. And in the 4th chapter, he talked a little bit about Sannyasa Yoga also. The Karma Yoga is a life of action with proper attitude, and the Jnana Yoga involves the life of renunciation. We have to understand this word renunciation very properly and not get confused with it as Arjuna was confused. 4 chapters are over. Bhagwan has talked so much and still Arjuna is not clear. I don't know if there will be, perhaps there will not be a student like Arjuna. And more than that, probably there will not be a compassionate teacher like Sri Krishna. That's why we call him Jagat Guru. He is still in doubt. How can a person be in society, doing duty, and at the same time be free from action? So he wanted Bhagwan to clearly tell him what is the best route for him. All the 4 chapters he has been asking, and he's again asking the same question. Arjuna wants sannyasa because he has heard so much glory about Jnana Yoga and all that. And he also has heard up to now that Jnanam only will give you moksha, and moksha is the final goal of a human being. So just like any common person, he is thinking, why do I have to go to Karma Yoga, fight and all that? Why not I go directly to the Jnana Yoga and attain the moksha? Bhagwan explained, as he would have explained to any common people, that ashrama sannyasa is not an easy thing. It's very difficult to be in that ashram without having a proper maturity. Whereas a karma yogi has to renounce only mentally. Outwardly, he can still move in society, interact in society, he can have a family, he can do everything what a normal person will do. Only difference is he has to inwardly contemplate and renunciate a lot of things within his heart and within his mind. Why is Bhagwan saying that sannyasa needs a lot of maturity? So, Arjuna, you cannot do it. And it's very, very true. Whenever I visit Rishikesh, almost I visit every year for 3-4 months. In the beginning, I was really used to be surprising. The young boys, like about 24, 25, take sannyasa just the same way because they think it's a very glamorous to be that way. And plus, Rishikesh is a city of ashrams. There are hundreds of ashrams there. And there will be sadhus roaming around all over, everywhere, young and old. But these young boys, mostly boys, 24, 25, I don't know who gives them sannyasa, they'll take sannyasa, they are not working, they are not studying, they are not doing anything, living on the mercy of the people who feed them, and thus they have no understanding what sannyasa is. And that's why Bhagwan is telling Arjuna that sannyasa is difficult without having a proper maturity. And where do we get maturity? By living in the world, taking care of the family, taking care of society, and doing lot of various activities which a common man does, taking care of duty. So that's why we discussed last session that karma, artha and karma is necessary as long as you do within the dharmic regulations. That will give you maturity. And once you have the maturity, you will know by yourself when are you ready for renunciation. Thus, chapter 5, I cannot go very detailed because of the lack of time. Bhagwan is again and again explaining why Karma Yoga is important and why in the end Jnanam only will give you the bandhanivritti or freedom from bondage and everything. But a few verses which are important in chapter 5, one is in number 8 and 9 is on there. नैव किञ्चित् करोमीति युक्तो मन्येत तत्त्ववित् पश्यन् शृण्वन् स्पृशन् जिघ्रन् अश्वन् स्वपन् अश्वसन् प्रलपन् विसृजन् गृह्णन् उन्मिषन् निमिषन्नपि. When you first read Gita, you are wondering what are these words which are hard to pronounce and doesn't make any sense, but when you understand the words, it makes lot of sense. What Bhagwan has said here, all the activities that go in the body, Shrinvan, hearing, Sprashan, touching, Jigran, smelling, Ashnan, eating, Gachan, moving, Swapan, reclining, Shwasan, breathing, Pralapan, talking, Visrajan, evacuating, Grinhan, receiving, Unminishan, opening the eyes, and closing the eyes. So why he mentioned all this? He mentioned that all these are functions are carried on by the sense organs. As long as sense organs are in your control, you are a sthita pragya and you are a matured person. So these activities, why Bhagwan said that any sensible person does not go under this, is not controlled by his sense organs, rather he controls his sense organs. For example, Shrinvan, hearing. If we hear something nice, pleasant, good music, we become elated, we are very happy. If we don't like something which we hear, we get upset and angry. But a realized person, a sthitapagya person, it will not make a difference to him. If it's a good music, he will listen. If it's not a good music, he may or may not listen, but he won't react to it. The same way, eating and smelling, suppose he's at home and something is cooking very well, he doesn't get excited. When am I going to get it? And will there be enough for me after everybody have it? Or should I go beginning and nothing? It doesn't attract him. If he gets it, he fine. If he doesn't get it for some reason, even then he's fine. He doesn't become greedy just because he smelled something good. And everything goes like that. Gachan, Swapan, Grinhan, Unminishan, his eyes open and his eyes close. He is not associated with it. He keeps himself. And that's why he mentioned that these sense organs function without identification with the person, with his Atma. And then in number 13, verse number 13, Sarvakarmani manasa sanyasyaste sukham vashi navadvare pure dehi naiva kurvan nakarayan. Bhagwan has called this whole body as a 9-gated city. And he says that this jiva, the human being, as long as he is alive, he lives in this 9-gated city. So what are these 9 gates? 2 eyes, 2 ears, 2 nostrils, 1 mouth, and some other organs. These are called to be the 9 gates, and we live in this 9-gated city. That's what, and that's all it is. We are not associated with any of the gates. These were the important verses of chapter number 5. And all other verses are important, but lack of time, we cannot be here, because my aim was this time to give an introduction of what the verses are talking, and I had to summarize and pick up the important verses to the best of my knowledge. Let's go to, and in chapter 5, verse number 27, Bhagwan has given a brief introduction of meditation. Sparshan kritva bahirbahyansh chakshurshchaivantare bhruvoho prana panau samukritva nasabhyantaracharino. Is the just because he was going to do in the 6th chapter elaborate